Hello students, in this video we will learn about note making and summarizing. We will talk about the procedure, how you can make good notes. We will talk about how to make abbreviations, how to summarize the passage. So let's start. First of all students, why do we make notes? Why is it important to make notes? These are the points, look at the screen. You get a lot of information at your disposal for ready reference. Notes help you to remember and recall the whole concept. Notes come in quite handy in delivering a speech. Notes are helpful while participating in debates and discussions. And dear students, note making is especially important for you to learn because at the time of examinations, it's just not possible for you to reread the whole chapters, the long questions and their answers, and at this time, the notes that you have prepared for that particular chapter, these notes become very helpful. You just have to go through your notes and your lesson is revised. So that is why, dear students, it is very important for you to learn to make notes. Now, dear students, we will talk about why, what are the characteristics of good notes. Good notes have to be short and compact. Your notes should give complete information about the topic. Complete information means nothing unimportant is to be included in your notes, and at the same time nothing important is to be left out. The notes have to be presented in a logical way and notes have to be understandable. Later on, when you refer to your notes, at least you should be able to understand your notes. You should be able to understand the whole concept just by looking at the notes. Because, dear students, that is the whole purpose of making notes. Notes basically are made to turn a big piece of information into a shorter one. That's why notes have to be short, compact, have to give complete information, and notes have to be understandable. Dear students, now let's talk about examination point of view. From examination point of view, these are the steps that you must follow while attempting the question. First of all, dear students, you have to give a suitable title. After that, you will start making notes. Then you have to give the key to abbreviations, and after that, you will summarize the passage. Let's talk about the title first. Dear students, you will get 1 mark for the title. Now the title has to be appropriate. It can be of a single word or it can be a brief phrase. But the title must not be very long. It must not be a complete sentence. It is quite alright if it is of a single word and if it is a brief phrase, but it must not be a long sentence. Then your title should give a glimpse to the contents of the passage. Just by looking at the title, one must be able to understand what the passage is about. After that, dear students, you will start making notes. Before you start to attempt this question, just read the passage very carefully and immediately you will get your title. While you are reading the passage, you should go on underlining the main ideas in the passage. These main ideas will be your main headings. Your note making basically has main headings and subheadings. Now the subheadings may again have sub-subheadings. For note making you will get 2 marks. Then you have to give the key to abbreviations. In key to abbreviations you will get 1 mark, and again then you will summarize the passage. Please adhere to the word limit. The summary is to be given in 80 to 100 words, and for this you will be given 4 marks. So this is how you have to attempt the question. You have to follow all the 4 steps. You will not miss a single step, otherwise you will end up losing very crucial marks. Now dear students, I'm going to share with you some tips that will help you prepare good notes. As we have talked earlier, first of all, you will give an appropriate title. Then when you start making your notes, please make sure that the notes are made in phrases and not in sentences. While you are reading the passage, you will identify the main ideas. You will go on underlining the main ideas. These will be the headings in your notes. And these have to be 3 to 5, not less than 3, and it's better if we do not give more than 5 main headings. Then the ideas affiliated to each heading will be subheadings. Subheadings may further have or may not have sub-points or sub-headings. After that, dear students, you have to pay attention to the indentation. It is very important to pay attention to the indentation, and you have to give 4 to 6 recognizable abbreviations in your notes. The abbreviations are to be used in your notes and not in your summary. Cover all the important ideas of the passage. As we discussed earlier as well, nothing important is to be left out and nothing unnecessary is to be included in your notes. Examples are often given in passages to make the concept clear. While you are making your notes, you will not use the examples. You will summarize the passage in 80 to 100 words. Write the summary in complete sentences and not in phrases. Yes, dear students, as I told you earlier as well, the notes are to be made in phrases and never in sentences. But in summary, the language has to be grammatically correct. That's why the summary is to be written in complete sentences and abbreviations are not to be used in summary. Abbreviations are not to be used in summary. The summary is to be written in complete sentences in 80 to 100 words. Now dear students, I would like to share a time-saving tip here. When you are giving the summary of the passage, you do not need to go through the entire passage once again. Because once you have read your passage and after that you made your notes. Now in your notes you have only included the important points. The notes are made in brief points, but the summary is written in complete sentences. So you can simply do one thing. The phrases can be expanded into complete sentences while writing the summary. The phrases that you have used in your notes, the same phrases can be expanded to complete sentence, and that is how you can write your summary. You do not need to read the entire passage once again. That will simply be a wastage of time. Now at the end of the summary, please give a concluding statement as well as to what the whole passage was basically about, and this is how you can write an effective summary. So these were the tips about making notes, how you can make good notes, and you have to give 4 to 6 recognizable abbreviations as well. After that, dear students, we will talk about abbreviations and symbols. Abbreviations and symbols are used in notes, and I remind you once again, abbreviations and symbols are not to be used in summary. So we have universal symbols, as you can see on the screens of your device. We have universal symbols. For example, in the first one, this symbol stands for and. The second one, IE. This symbol stands for that is. Then we have EG. This stands for example. After that, we have mathematical symbols that can be used in making notes. This first one, it stands for less than. The second one stands for greater than, and the third one, this symbol stands for equal to. These are universal symbols and mathematical symbols. After that, dear students, let's talk about abbreviations, how we can abbreviate the words. Abbreviations can be divided in the following three groups. First, acronyms, then contractions, and the third way is short forms. Let's talk about acronyms first. While making acronyms, we simply take the capital initial letters of the words. Just look at the example CBSE. This acronym stands for Central Board of Secondary Education. What we have done here is simply we have taken C from Central, B from Board, S from Secondary and E from Education. So that made our acronym CBSE. You can think of more examples here like USA, the United States of America, UNO, United Nations Organizations. You can think of many more acronyms. You can use acronyms in your notes. Then the second way is contractions. Contractions is simply we take first few letters of the words like you all know about it. This is very commonly used. IMP for important, ESP for especially. Contractions are just you simply take first few letters of the word. Then the third one is making short forms. We can make short forms of long words. Like if a word is long, it has many spellings. So we simply take first few letters and last few letters of the word. For example, GOVT. We have taken GOV first three letters and T is the last letter. That is GOVT. It makes government. ESTD is established. Now dear students, this is how we can abbreviate the words. As I told you earlier, it is very important to give the key to abbreviations. Why is it important to not only abbreviate the words but also to give the key to these abbreviations? Because dear students, for you, let's take an example here. For you, UNI stands for universal. Now you have not given the key to abbreviations, so you have used UNI for universal. Now for the examiner has no idea what UNI stands for. Maybe it stands for university. The same way, this ESTD, you have used ESTD for established, but you know that the examiner does not know that without the key to abbreviation, the examiner might think that this ESTD is used for estimated, right? So that's why you must give the key to abbreviations. In the key to abbreviations, you simply state that ESTD is for established, GOVT is for government, UNI is for university. So that's why it is very important to give the key to abbreviations so as to avoid confusion. And also let's not forget that if you don't give the key to abbreviations, you end up losing 1 mark. Now dear students, as we talked earlier, this was an important tip that I shared with you, that the indentation should be correct. Now look at the screen of your device. To your left side is a right indentation and to your right side is wrong indentation. What is indentation? Indentation is simply the space that you leave while putting down the points, while making your notes, while you are putting down the headings and subheadings. This is how you have to pay attention to indentation. Look at the right indentation. Number 1 is your main heading. Now, if you have to give a subheading, you will move a little to your right. 1.1 will be your subheading. Now, your subheading number 2 will be 1.2. Now, let's suppose that 1.2 further has subheadings. So, again, you will move a little to your right and then you will write down the subheading 1.2.1, 1.2.2. and this way. Then you write down your second main heading. Now you will follow the same line. In the same line where you have written your first main heading, right below that point number 1, your point number 2 should be there. Your second main heading will be here. And the same way, just look here, look at the screen. When you are giving the subheading, your subheading for the second main heading will be immediately below the first subheading of first main heading. You will follow this pattern. Now dear students, what is wrong indentation? Sometimes you make this mistake in your exams. Like you have given, look here on the screen of your device. You have given the first main heading. Immediately below that you give the subheading 1.1. Then you give another subheading 1.2. After that, immediately below it, in the same line, you have given the subheading 1.2.1, 1.2.2, and again in the same line you have written the second main heading. Now that is wrong indentation. If you do not pay attention to right indentation, you will definitely end up losing some marks here. So please be very careful about correct indentation. Look at it once again. This is how the right indentation is to your left. This is how you will write your notes. And to your right side, this is the wrong way. You must not put your notes in this way. Look at your screens once again. This is how you will write your notes. Again, this is right indentation. You see here, first is your main heading, then you have moved a little to your right hand, and then you have put your first subheading 1.1. Then again, your first subheading has two subheadings. So once again, you will move to your right, and this is how you will write your subheading 1.1.1 and 1.1.2. This is how you can write your main heading, then your subheading and subheadings. Now dear students, I would like to share here with you that you will get 2 marks for your notes. So it is completely alright if you give just 3 to 5 main headings, and for each main heading, let's say you give 2 to 4 subheadings. Let's say you give 2 subheadings or 3 subheadings or 4 subheadings. And it is not important that every subheading has to have subheadings. It is completely alright if you only give main headings and subheadings. It is not important that your every subheading must have a subheading. Let's not go too deep, otherwise you will end up losing a lot of time here. So just identify the main ideas, focus on your subheadings, and it is completely okay if you do not go for subheadings. So this is how you make your notes. Now my dear students, thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I really hope it will be helpful for you. I hope you have remembered all the 4 steps. Let's recall them once again, dear students. First of all, don't forget to give a title, and that will secure 1 mark. After that, make notes. Notes are to be made in phrases and never in sentences. Plus, you will give due attention to indentation. And while you are making your notes, you will give 4 to 6 recognizable abbreviations. After that, you will give the key to abbreviations, that again will secure 1 mark. Then dear students, you will summarize the passage in 80 to 100 words only. You will not exceed the word limit, and you will stick to the word limit. This is how you can secure full 8 marks for your notes. Thank you once again. Thank you.